What's up, everybody? You are watching and listening to The Voice of Cheer with Tristan Allen. And today, I'm going to be real honest. And this is what The Voice of Cheer is about. It's about speaking truth about cheerleading. Okay? So last night, I had the honor of talking to the man behind me right here, Mr. Orson Sykes of Twist and Shout. And let's be real. We shot a great, what I felt like it was a good entry, good opener to the podcast. And we finished up the show. We talked on the phone for a few minutes afterwards, and I finished up. I went and ate dinner with my wife, and something in my stomach just didn't settle right. And I'm like, something didn't feel right about this podcast. I go back, I listen to the audio. No audio whatsoever. So now I'm just cringing inside. I'm thinking, I just wasted this man's time. and but so I sat up thinking, what can I do? I was gonna text him. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning because I'm still trying to figure out how to get this audio to work. And I said, you know what? Let's just go to sleep. I'll text him at 6:45. I figured he'd be up and moving around 7, something like that. And so I shot him a text, and he responded. And and here we are, round two.
Here we are again.
Here we are, round two for
good,
the
man.
Voice of Cheer. So one more time, I'm going to introduce this man. This is a coach, an inspirational leader, a gym owner of multiple locations, a husband, and a father of 4 young men running Twist and Shout. 23 years in the industry, going on 24, 1996 start date. There's so much to talk about when it comes to Orson and the sport. Orson and Twist and Shout, Orson in the 3 locations, Orson and all the coaches he's been able to work with and work around, and even the people that he just knows on that higher level when it comes to the varsities and the USASFs and stuff like that. So, Orson, once again, thank you so much for doing the show for the second time.
It's no problem, man. I'm excited about being on.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's get to it.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Do me a favor. Let's just kind of give me a rundown one more time of how Twist and Shout was started.
Well, I have a gymnastics background. Started gymnastics when I was 12 years old. Backyard taught everybody in my neighborhood. That's kind of what we did. And
Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
When you said that last night, I was thinking to myself, were you talking about the Bill Street Flippers? Because
I think that was a little bit before the Bill Street Flippers.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah.
Started the wave. I see what you're doing.
Well, so I was not part of the Bill Street Flippers, but in my neighborhood, that's what everybody did.
Right.
They flipped. And my mom sent me to a summer camp once, and we had a gymnastics class, and I could do all this stuff, And the instructor said, "Hey, you should think about joining a real facility."
Right.
And so that's what I did, and man, I fell in love with it. I was 12 years old, which is rather old for a gymnast, and I fell in love with it. Did it all during high school. I still played football, basketball, did all of that, but nothing really really gave me that passion like gymnastics did.
Right.
Fortunately, I ended up at the University of Oklahoma, and was fortunate enough to win a national championship in '91. And after my eligibility was up, the cheerleading coach asked some of the gymnasts to join the cheer squad. We really didn't think nothing of it, but there are a lot of cute girls over there. So we were like, let's do that.
A lot of young men will start this sport for that reason.
Absolutely, So really, that's what we did. And they said, "Hey, you don't have to cheer in the games. You just go to nationals." And they actually told us it was on a spring floor, which we practiced in the gymnastics facility. I didn't realize that we were going to be on the hard floor until 2 weeks prior to the event. And so you imagine trying to do double backs on a hard floor.
Going from spring floor to hard floor. That's ankles,
Oh man,
knees,
it was brutal.
backs.
Yeah, it was brutal. So we ended up competing, ended up winning. And back then, when you won the NCAA Collegiate National Championship, they took that team to Tokyo, Japan,
Wow.
to perform at the JAL Cup, which is like the high school national championship for cheerleading. And you got to do some other performances. We were probably over there about 2 weeks. So we did those performances. We taught some clinics. And man, it was an amazing experience, man. I'd never been to, I'd never been to Japan, and it was an amazing experience. They treated us like rock stars,
I bet they did.
And from there, I needed a job when I got back. So I got a job at a local cheerleading gym. Uh, this was this was 93, 94, 93, I think. And I remember walking in this place and all they had was like panel mats. Well, they didn't even have panel mats. They just had like carpet bonded foam and mirrors. Not a crash pad, not a cheese
Hey, you
wedge.
know what? At least they had those mirrors. At least they had the mirrors.
That's all they had. I remember thinking, I came from a gymnastics background where you had bars, beam, you had everything. And I remember thinking like, people actually pay you to do this, And man, I fell in love with it from there. I just love the culture of cheerleading. It wasn't as stringent, it wasn't as stuffy, and I tried to apply the training principles that I learned in gymnastics to cheerleading.
Right.
And really that's what I did, and I eventually kind of built up a little reputation, and through a few circumstances, ended up leaving that program and being in another program. And man, a parent once approached me and offered to give me all the financing to start Twist and Shout. And, I'm forever grateful to that parent. And, the rest really is history.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
And so when you started the first location, and it was you and your wife, correct?
Hmm.
Were y'all married at the time when y'all started the location?
Man, we we started the gym in August. We got married in June.
Wow. So
So
wait, June the next year or June
no,
prior to it?
June two,
Oh,
well, 2 months before. So
wow.
imagine that.
Y'all went
You're
from
talking about stress.
two commitments back to back. Pow, pow.
Major commitments.
Major commitments back to back.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was awesome though. There are parts of the business back then I missed because we were far more smaller. But I taught every class, every team. My wife worked the front desk every night. She kept the book. She did all of that, all of the accounts, and
Does she
it was
does she have
just
any cheerleading or gymnastics background?
she does not. She does
Really?
not. You
So
know,
she followed your love of the sport.
she did.
The
She did. And I mean, and kudos to my wife. She's not out in front a lot, but man, I mean, she's really amazing with marketing. She does all of our books, all the payroll. She does the real work, I
right.
say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The behind the
And
scenes work.
yeah, absolutely. And she's an amazing mother too. So, she does it all, man.
Wow. So she
Yeah.
has no background whatsoever. She saw your love.
Yeah.
She saw that twinkle in your eye. What do you think it was? What do you think it was that when she saw you doing it, or what do you think it was that made her look at you and go, you know what, this is real. This is something that I can dive into. This is something that I can believe in.
Well, I think it was just, it's one of those situations where it was ours together, you
Right.
know. I mean, we're both owners of the business. Anytime you work with kids, I think she could sense my passion for not just teaching tumbling or teaching cheer, but just trying to make an impact in the lives of young people.
Right.
And I think she really loved that and liked that. And so, we both did it together, and we've been doing that ever since. It was one of those things that God put in our lap, and we're just trying to continue.